Are you ready to explore the spine-chilling streets of America's most haunted cities? Buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to dive headfirst into the top 10 destinations that'll make you sleep with the lights on. Whether you believe in ghosts or just love a good scare, this video is your guide to the eeriest corners of the United States. And hey, if you're a traveler looking for an adventurous twist, why not add a side of paranormal activity to your next vacation? First up, we're drifting down to Savannah, Georgia, a city that's practically oozing with history and some say spectral residents. Founded in 1733, Savannah has seen it all. Wars, fires, yellow fever outbreaks, you name it. All that turmoil and tragedy, yeah, that tends to attract a few restless spirits. You can practically feel the past whispering through the moss-draped trees and cobblestone squares. Speaking of squares, Savannah's historic district is said to be home to some of the most haunted squares in the world. Take Chippewa Square, for instance. Legend has it that a young girl tragically orphaned now roams the square, her mournful cries echoing in the night. Spooky stuff, right? And we can't forget about Bonaventure Cemetery, a hauntingly beautiful place that's practically synonymous with Savannah's ghostly reputation. This sprawling cemetery, with its ancient oaks and elaborate tombs, has been featured in movies and nightmares alike. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead feels remarkably thin. But Savannah's hauntings aren't confined to cemeteries and public squares. Many of the city's historic homes, with their creaky floorboards and shadowy corners, are said to have their own resident ghosts. Take the Sorrelweed House, for example. This grand old mansion is rumored to be haunted by the ghost of a young woman who fell to her death from a balcony. Next up, we're heading to the Big Easy, where the jazz is hot, the gumbo is hotter, and the ghosts, well, let's just say they know how to party. New Orleans, with its unique blend of French, African, and Caribbean cultures, has a history as rich and flavorful as its jambalaya. But beneath the vibrance and revelry lies a darker side, a history steeped in voodoo, piracy, and tragedy. One of the most infamous haunted locations in New Orleans is the LaLaurie Mansion, a grand old house on Royal Street with a truly gruesome past. It was here that Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a wealthy socialite, committed unspeakable atrocities against her slaves. The horrors that unfolded within those walls are the stuff of nightmares. And many believe that the spirits of her victims still haunt the mansion to this day. From the shadowy alleys of the French Quarter to the above-ground cemeteries with their ornate tombs, the city is practically teeming with ghost stories. Take a stroll down St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 if you dare, and you might just encounter the ghost of Marie Laveau, the voodoo queen of New Orleans. From the lively streets of New Orleans, we're traveling north to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a town forever marked by the bloody battle that took place there in 1863. The Battle of Gettysburg, a pivotal moment in the Civil War, claimed the lives of over 50,000 soldiers, leaving behind an undeniable sense of sorrow and loss that permeates the very air. It's no wonder, then, that Gettysburg is considered one of the most haunted places in America. Some say that the spirits of fallen soldiers still roam the battlefields, their anguished cries echoing through the night. One of the most haunted spots in Gettysburg is Devil's Den, a rocky area where fierce fighting took place. It's said that the spirits of Confederate soldiers, trapped in a loop of their final moments, still haunt this area. Visitors have reported feeling cold spots, hearing unexplained noises, and even seeing ghostly apparitions. Hold on to your broomsticks because we're about to delve into the bewitching world of Salem, Massachusetts. This historic town, forever linked to the infamous witch trials of 1692, has become a haven for paranormal enthusiasts and history buffs alike. Now, I'm not saying that every corner of Salem is crawling with witches, or am I? Okay, in all seriousness, Salem's dark past casts a long shadow, and the town has fully embraced its witchy reputation. From haunted houses to witch-themed shops and museums, Salem offers a healthy dose of spooky fun. But beneath the tourist attractions lies a deeper story, one of fear, paranoia, and injustice. The Salem witch trials, a dark chapter in American history, saw the execution of 20 innocent people accused of witchcraft. One of the most haunted sites in Salem is the Jonathan Corwin House, also known as the Witch House. This chillingly well-preserved house was once home to Judge Jonathan Corwin, who presided over the witch trials. Visitors have reported feeling a sense of unease within its walls, as if the spirits of the accused are still seeking justice. And then there's the old burying point, Salem's oldest cemetery where many of the accused witches were laid to rest. Next stop, we're heading west to the city by the bay, where the fog rolls in, the sourdough bread is legendary, and the ghosts, well, they're just as iconic as the Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco, with its dramatic history, stunning scenery, and diverse population, has a lot to offer, including a healthy dose of paranormal activity. One of the most notorious haunted locations in the city is Alcatraz Island, the former maximum security prison that once housed some of America's most notorious criminals. Now a popular tourist destination, Alcatraz is said to be haunted by the spirits of former inmates, their tormented souls unable to escape the island even in death. Visitors and park rangers have reported hearing unexplained noises, feeling cold spots, and even seeing ghostly apparitions. The city's historic hotels, many of which have witnessed their fair share of tragedy and scandal over the years, are also said to be haunted. Take the Queen Anne Hotel, for example. This elegant Victorian mansion, once a finishing school for girls, is said to be haunted by the ghost of Miss Mary Lake, the former headmistress. Guests have reported seeing her apparition in the halls and feeling her presence in their rooms. Hold on to your tricorn hats because we're traveling back in time to St. Augustine, Florida, the oldest continuously inhabited European established settlement in the United States. Founded by the Spanish in 1565, St. Augustine is a city steeped in history, with cobblestone streets, Spanish colonial architecture, and, of course, a fair share of ghost stories. With over 450 years of history under its belt, it's no surprise that St. Augustine has accumulated a few ghost stories along the way. From haunted hotels to spooky cemeteries, the city offers a glimpse into a past that continues to linger in the present. One of the most iconic haunted locations in St. Augustine is the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum. This towering beacon, a sentinel on the coast since 1874, has witnessed its share of tragedy over the years. Visitors and staff have reported hearing children's laughter echoing through the tower, as well as seeing the ghostly apparition of a former lighthouse keeper. And then there's the Castillo de San Marcos, a 17th century Spanish fort that has witnessed centuries of conflict and bloodshed. Visitors and park rangers have reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the casemates, hearing unexplained noises, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. The city's streets are said to be haunted by the spirits of pirates, soldiers, and early settlers, their presence felt in the cool night air and the creaking of old buildings. Whether you're a believer in the supernatural or just a fan of spooky history, St. Augustine is a fascinating and thought-provoking destination. Get ready to sip some sweet tea and encounter some southern hospitality with a spooky twist. Charleston, South Carolina, a city known for its antebellum architecture, charming gardens, and rich history, also happens to be one of the most haunted cities in the South. From haunted plantations to ghostly graveyards, Charleston's past is very much present, especially if you know where to look, or rather, who to listen for. One of the most well-known haunted locations in Charleston is the Old City Jail, which operated from 1802 to 1939. This grim and imposing structure housed a variety of criminals, from petty thieves to murderers, and it's said that the spirits of some of those inmates still reside within its walls. Visitors and tour guides have reported hearing disembodied voices, feeling cold spots, and even seeing ghostly apparitions. One of the most infamous spirits said to haunt the jail is Lavinia Fisher, a woman who, according to legend, was America's first female serial killer. The city's many historic plantations, with their ties to slavery and the Civil War, are also said to be haunted. Next up, we're heading to the Pacific Northwest, to a city known for its craft breweries, indie music scene, and a healthy dose of weirdness. That's right, we're talking about Portland, Oregon, a city where the rain falls sideways, the coffee is strong, and the ghosts, well, they're just as eccentric as the locals. From haunted theaters to spooky tunnels, Portland has a dark side that's just waiting to be explored. One of the most infamous haunted locations in the city is the Shanghai Tunnels, a network of underground passageways that run beneath the streets of Old Town Chinatown. These tunnels, shrouded in mystery and legend, are said to have been used for a variety of nefarious purposes in the 19th century, including smuggling, kidnapping, and even slavery. Today, the tunnels are a popular tourist destination, but be warned. Visitors have reported feeling cold spots, hearing unexplained noises, and even seeing ghostly apparitions. The city's many historic theaters, many of which have witnessed their fair share of drama and tragedy over the years, are also said to be haunted. Get ready to grab a deep dish pizza and brace yourselves for a chilling tour of the Windy City. Chicago, Illinois, a city known for its stunning architecture, vibrant art scene, and notorious gangster past, also happens to be home to some of the most spine-tingling ghost stories in the Midwest. From haunted theaters to spooky cemeteries, Chicago's history is filled with tales of tragedy, crime, and restless spirits. One of the most infamous haunted locations in the city is the Congress Plaza Hotel, a grand old dame that has hosted presidents, celebrities, and, according to some, a few ghostly guests. This opulent hotel, built in 1893, has witnessed its fair share of tragedy over the years, including suicides, murders, and even a deadly fire. Guests have reported seeing ghostly apparitions in the hallways, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling unexplained cold spots. One of the most well-known spirits said to haunt the hotel is Peg-Leg Johnny, a mischievous ghost who is said to move furniture, turn lights on and off, and even play pranks on guests. The city's many historic theaters, many of which have witnessed their fair share of drama and tragedy over the years, are also said to be haunted. Take the Oriental Theater, for example. This ornate theater, built in 1926, is said to be haunted by the ghost of a former stagehand who died in a tragic fall. Saddle up, partners, because we're heading to the Wild West, to a town that's literally a ghost town. Jerome, Arizona, perched high atop Cleopatra Hill, was once a booming mining town, but today it's a shadow of its former self, with a population of less than 500 people and countless ghosts, according to local legend. Jerome's history is a Wild West roller coaster of booms, busts, fires, and more than a few untimely deaths. One of the most haunted spots in Jerome is the Jerome Grand Hotel, which was once a hospital serving the town's miners. This imposing building has seen its fair share of tragedy over the years, with countless patients succumbing to injuries, illnesses, and even the Black Plague. Guests and staff have reported seeing ghostly apparitions in the hallways, hearing disembodied voices and feeling unexplained cold spots. Some say that the spirits of former patients, still seeking treatment for their ailments, roam the halls at night. So there you have it, folks. Our whirlwind tour of America's most haunted cities. From the cobblestone streets of Savannah to the dusty ghost town of Jerome, we've uncovered some of the spookiest and most fascinating destinations in the United States. Which of these haunted cities would you dare to visit? Drop your answers in the comments below. And if you're brave enough, maybe even plan a trip to experience these spine-tingling locations for yourself. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow ghost hunters and history buffs. And until next time, sweet dreams, or as sweet as they can be after watching this video.